Okay, so it's 6 o'clock, so it's time to begin. Hopefully, people will still trickle in. Tonight, we're going to have Cara speaking about the business model canvas. This is your check-in code if you haven't checked in yet. There'll be another code at the end of the session, so you can check in then. Cara is our programs director for StartUpNV. She's been teaching business model canvas for years, even before she was with us. She was with the Cal State Merced, or is it UC Merced?
UC Merced.
UC Merced, and she was with, actually started an incubator there as part of the university. So she's done I-Corps stuff and all kinds of academic stuff, but now she's teaching real entrepreneurs. So she's going to cover the business style canvas. And let's see, I should stop sharing so that they can see your lovely face for a moment.
So I'm actually sharing. When you weren't looking, I stopped your share and I swapped it with my share.
Okay, but we're still seeing we're not seeing you. Let me pin you for a minute. Pin to first.
Okay, I stopped sharing my screen.
Okay, we might have sharing issues right now.
Did we extend or are we?
But I was sharing this. So it says screen 2.
Well, you're not sharing now.
Okay.
Do you want to exit it?
Yeah.
And then let's pin Cara. She's pinned.
She is pinned, but we're still seeing our splash screen.
Oh, well, that's just on your computer because I took down my screen. I can share it now, though, if you're ready.
Well, yes, we're ready. How will we know if it changes, though?
We're gonna have to move this over there.
Yeah, minimize your local window. Here,
Yeah.
I'll put a different screen on so that you
There's
can
Cara. Wait,
differentiate.
there's Cara over there.
Do you mind?
Okay. So you got.
Take over for 1 second.
But here, let me just minimize this so you
Okay.
can get to the desktop. Now we're in this awkward place. Okay, now you can do display settings.
I think we're good. You might not be able to be on your laptop, Maggie.
Well, then you watch the.
Yeah, I'll watch the door. How do I get back here?
All right. Should
Hold
we
on.
get started?
Almost.
Okay.
Um,
You got extra time to check in. So if you haven't checked in, please scan the QR code. Helps us know who's here. But thank you.
Okay.
okay.
Okay,
All
ready?
right. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. Excited to cover my favorite topic, which is business models and business model design. I have got a really great tool to help you roadmap out your business. And we will get into that. We will spend some time doing an exercise today. Here is the rest of the schedule. I did post this also in Disco, and this is available. Maggie, just to confirm, you are admitting to the room?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. Okay, now business models, I think they get complicated, but the key thing with a business model is it's your roadmap. It helps you understand how this dream and this vision and this idea that you have, how it actually exists in the world, who is going to interact with it, who are my customers, who are my partners, what does this thing that is a concept in my mind, what does this look like as a real living breathe it to life business. And so we use tools like the one I'm going to show you to create the business model around it. And the business model is your roadmap for success and for it to go from this dream and this idea and into reality. Now, there are obviously many reasons why startups fail, but I think that one of the key reasons that startups fail is they don't have clarity on their future. And so it's really important, if we want to increase that clarity, we need to gain a better understanding of what our business will look like in the world. And so this is one of my favorite charts. I'm going to leave this up here for a minute because at first it looks like a scribble. You're working on a business and maybe it feels a little bit like this scribble when you're telling people about it. You're all over the place and you're very excited and you realize you're very passionate about what you're talking about. And you're talking about it at dinner and you're telling family members about it. but it's a kind of a little bit of a mess. And that's okay. That's where it starts. And our goal is to get it to a point where it's a little bit clearer. And so we go from like this chaotic scribble to more of a flat line of stable. This is the plan. And so this chart says, as we reduce
Hey,
uncertainty,
Cara, are you sharing?
I am.
So go to view and let's make it immersive and hopefully that.
No.
Nope, that's not great. Cara, we're seeing you. We're stuck with you.
So, okay, so here's something in the window that you're at in Zoom. There's little tabs at the top.
Yeah.
So make sure you click on my screen share.
Nope. Cancel.
You'll see the room.
Yeah, we see all of it, but for some odd reason, I don't see you on this.
All right, how about you unpin me?
Remove pin is over there.
Yeah, remove pin.
I see Maggie.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna reshare my screen. How's that?
No,
Wait, maybe?
no.
We can see her screen though.
You can?
Okay, that's good. The people
It's-
online can see your screen. People in this room cannot.
Do the share, what are you sharing?
Do you see the tabs at the top though? There should be one that says meeting room and then one that says Kara's screen share or something like that.
We don't see tabs.
So you're gonna want to look in the Zoom window. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, let me see the gallery real quick.
Maybe we need to not be in full screen.
We're not at full screen.
If we click more,
It's hard to guide
Sorry.
without seeing what you guys are looking at.
I know, sorry. We are in full screen. It's because if you click on view, it says exit full screen.
I will take this time to answer questions. Shannon, I see you didn't get an invite to Disco. I will make sure you get an invite. I did send it out and sometimes it goes to your spam, so I will send that again tomorrow. So please be on the lookout. It's from disco.co.
We see it, Cara. Reduce uncertainty to create value.
That's right. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So the key thing with this is as you reduce uncertainty, we create value. So how do you know what you don't know, right? So there are many assumptions with your business. And on the left here, you'll see all these question marks. And what that square is, that's your business model canvas. We're going to spend the class actually talking through that business model canvas. And then everything on the right is a validated business model canvas. And so today I want you to think of your business as something to test. There are things here that we don't know, and that's okay. We start from a place of saying, I don't know. And that's actually, it's a bit empowering actually to say, I don't know the answer, but I will go out and find the answer. And so we start from that point of uncertainty and things to test. And as we reduce uncertainty, we will create value. We will create a stronger, more resilient business that is ready to move forward into the market. So this is the business model canvas. This is 9 key building blocks that help you identify what your business will be and how it will exist in the world. We're going to spend the entire session today going into this. So you might have heard of you got to put together a business plan, and it used to be that this would be a 30-page document and this had to be meticulously crafted, and then that was it. That was your business. But it's actually something that's able to be flexible and able to change. And so there is this fantastic tool, the Business Model Canvas, that allows us to put that 30 pages down to 1 page. And it allows us to just like look at the core elements of your business and see what can be modified and tweaked and changed. And so here are our 9 blocks. We're going to go through each of these today. And if you got my email before this class, I sent out, and also Maggie had put into the chat at the beginning of the class, I sent out a link to this as well as our activity for later. But this is a document developed by the company Strategizer. You can see their URL down here at the bottom, strategizer.com. I highly recommend that you take a second to put this into your browser. You can download this directly from their website. If you don't want to put your email in and download it from them, that way you can just search Google image search business model canvas and you can pull these off the internet as images without putting your information out there. So that is a tool. For those of you that are working on nonprofits, or you believe you could be working on something that's a nonprofit, there is something called the mission model canvas. It's similar concept. The lesson today will also be applicable to the mission model canvas. I recommend going to Strategizer's website and downloading that one. You'll also see a couple of other tools, but today we'll focus on the business model canvas. That's weird. My slides are not advancing. There we go. All right. Now, I want you to think of your business as a performance, as something that is on stage. Everything to the right is everything that's on the stage that is in front of the curtain. Everything to the left is everything behind the curtain that the rest of the audience doesn't see. Now, we are able to look at basically any business and we can see what their performance is. We know what's on their stage. We know what their product is. We know generally who their customers are. We know how people heard about it, and we know how they're making money. You can think of pretty much any business and you know what their stage is, but you don't know what's happening behind the curtain, right? Like we know about Apple's products, for example, but I have no idea who their key partners really are or what they're doing behind the scenes and these private conversations. And the reason that I bring this up, the front stage versus the backstage, is I want you to always be aware that your business has this hidden backstage, and it's important that you are building this out and you are aware of it as you move forward. And the reason I call it out is because, especially if you're a new entrepreneur, many people will see the front stage of business, Apple, Google, your corner coffee shop, and they will think that is the entire business. That is, I saw them put it on social media, so I'm going to do the same thing. So just be aware, don't copy what as their front stage, but pay attention to what's possibly happening there that you don't see as a consumer, and make sure that you build that out. Everything
Cara?
that is behind, yes.
Hi, you have a comment online from somebody that is a nonprofit, wondering would this work for a nonprofit?
Well, she mentioned
Yes.
the mission.
Okay.
Yes. So there are tools. The mission model canvas is another tool. It's very similar to this. The lesson today will be applicable to both. The mission model canvas, take the exercise that we do today and apply it to the mission model canvas. But this canvas is relevant for anyone. So you could do this as a nonprofit, and then as you get into the weeds, you can also do the mission model canvas.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So everything that's behind the curtain on the left side here should be supporting things that are on the right side of the curtain, right? So let's just think about a play, for example. So if I were to go and see a play, my product, my value proposition, maybe that's the story, that's the characters, that's the design, that's the choreography. The customers are the individuals who are in the audience. The customer relationships might be how you heard about the play. Maybe you saw some flyers, maybe it was word of mouth. Same thing for channels. How does that product get into the hands of your customers, and what keeps those customers coming back? So all of that is happening. And if you've seen a performance or you've seen a play, you have operated on the right side here. But what we didn't see is everything behind the curtain. We don't know who the choreographers were. We don't know who the set designers were. And we don't know who the makeup artists were. But we know that they were instrumental in the work that is happening on the stage. So pay attention to all of the stuff that you want to create as your performance and who you need to be working with on the back end to help your vision come to life. So with that, we are going to do an exercise. If you can, please pull up a business model canvas. And if you can't, it's fine to just write this out on paper. A canvas is helpful for visuals, but you just writing it out in a document or on a sketch pad is totally fine too. But there are some rules when it comes to the business model canvas, because we want this to remain a flexible tool. We're going to stick with these rules. So each box, keep it to bullet points. It must be bullet points, no sentences. I find that if you have whole sentences in here, it makes it hard to tease out individual ideas. It makes it hard to pivot and to shift. And it's really a mental block, but it is the truth. So if you have just bullets, it makes it easier to change. On the same note, you want to have a different bullet for a different idea. So be aware of how you're structuring this. And then the last thing is no orphan items. Everything in this canvas is connected. If you put something in one box, it must have a partner in another box. If I have a value proposition, it must have a customer that goes with it. If I have a key partner, it must be connected to a value proposition, etc. So you don't want a single thing that is hanging out by itself. If you do the exercise and you find that you do have one thing hanging out, you have two options. One, you can look at it and say, you know what, that's an extra thing. I don't need it. And you strike it. Or you say, you know what, this is so important. It has to be here. It's definitely part of my business. So then what you do is you build around that. And so maybe that's a product or a feature. And that's something like, I absolutely need this. I believe it's part of my business, but I don't know who my customer is that's going to want that product. And so you want to make sure that if there's an item in the value box, that there's a customer that goes with it. All right, so very simple rules. Is this clear? Anyone have any questions before we go forward? Okay, I'll take
Any
that
questions
as a
in the
no.
room? No, none in the room.
All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fill this out as we go. I'm going to go through each topic and then I'm going to pause while you guys fill it in. We do have an exercise at the end that will help us pull it all together. So if you can even just put one or two things in, that would be awesome. Now, your customer segments. This is people that we are creating value for. I want you to think about all potential customer segments here. Think of groups of people who are experiencing, who you're trying to solve a problem as an entrepreneur. So as a group, who is experiencing that problem that you're trying to solve? What do these people all have in common? Are they all a part of the same type of association? Are they all in the same region? Do they all interact with the same type of product? Who are these individuals and what do they have in common? I would caution you before you write, don't put any general age groups. Don't say the word everyone, anybody, no blanket statements here. Try to be as specific as possible. And think of a person. Think of the person that you want to help, right? Even if it's an actual person, you can put them here and that's okay. We can build from there. But try to be specific. And that's why we want to get away from general age groups, 23 to 53. So let's think about groups of people who we are trying to help with our product. And we'll just take a few minutes to do that. So I'll pause here.
If anybody has any questions, I'll run over with the mic if you want to ask it. Just let me know. Hi, Cara. We have a question in the room. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Sure if it's a question because I did homework last night, so I don't know. I'm using this that I could I
Okay.
use like this section right here?
Oh, did you?
That's a big section.
Yeah, it's just this one kind of answers like
Yeah. From out of all the homework that you did, try to find the ones that align best with what Cara is having you enter.
okay.
And then
So
if you
my
want-
favorite way of finding out who your customers are. So you're starting something because you want to solve a problem, right? Like you care about a problem. You care enough about a problem that you're here tonight, that you're going to work on something. I want to challenge you to find someone who cares more about that problem than you do. They care so much about this problem. They are paying for solutions. They are looking it up in the middle of the night. They are doing something and they are still unsatisfied. Who cares more about the problem than you do? Think about these as individuals. Think about these individuals and who they are partnered with and what they all have in common.
I think that would be there. This one.
Next.
Yeah.
So Rickshaw, I'm picking up your audio.
Oh, the blue doesn't.
It's all good. So value proposition. Now, value proposition, this is your product. This is your features. This is however you want to splice this up. But what is that specific value that you have for your customers? Is it the convenience? Is it a specific feature? What problem is that you are solving? Could this be bundled together with additional products, additional services? What is this thing I have of value? Now, remember, we are not creating any orphan items and we're not creating anything that's not connected to somebody else. So we just thought about the person that has a problem that we care deeply about. And on the left, we've got our product. So I want you to draw a line, and you can physically draw it or it can be a mental line, but this value for this customer, this value for this customer. And you may start to see a lot of overlapping lines and a lot of overlapping arrows, but the key thing is here, the value and the customers are connected. You are developing a value for a customer and you know they want it. So let's take another couple of minutes to fill in your value proposition box.
The more you think about it, the easier it's going to be. And if you have to just write everything like a brain dump as bullet points, you'll be able to sift through that and refine it.
Okay, just another minute here. Okay, so now at this point, that is your value proposition, your value for customers. There is a separate canvas that Strategizer puts out there called the value proposition canvas. After you've done a few iterations of the business model canvas, I recommend looking at the value proposition canvas. That does a much deeper dive on your actual value proposition. Now, your customer relationships. What keeps your customers coming back? What is the difference between a one-time purchase and an ongoing relationship? So I want you to think about if you were on a road trip, why might you choose a chain like Starbucks, for example, over a local coffee shop? Even though we know we should be supporting local, but why would you choose Starbucks if you're in a hurry, you're just getting through town and you're on your way to the next place? What makes you choose Starbucks? Feel free to put anything into the chat.
Consistency.
Consistency, that's great.
Somebody said convenience.
Convenience.
I like Starbucks, but it's coffee. Yeah, and if you're after value, you go to McDonald's because their coffee's decent and it's
Yeah.
well, for me, it's $1 because I'm old.
I'm a McDonald's French fries kind of girl. Anywhere I go, I know
McDonald's
I'm
French
getting
fries.
good fries. Yep.
Consistency. Yeah, McDonald's is great. Avril put in here drive-through and app access. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you know what you're going to get with McDonald's French fries, with Starbucks and their pumpkin spice lattes. But also McDonald's and Starbucks and others, they have apps. And before they had apps, they used to have gift cards. And they turned the gift cards into these reloadable things on the apps. And now you get stars. You come back for your birthday for the drink. All of these things are customer relationship tools. The brand itself is the customer relationship tool. Seeing the McDonald's arches, for example, all of these things are what keep you coming back as a consumer. And so think about your business and think about what sort of tools will bring people back to you. This could be loyalty programs. This could be stars, apps. Maybe it's like they know you've got the best Taco Tuesdays, for example. Like they know what they're going to get. They know what to expect. So think about what you have there. Let's take a minute to do that. What is your relationship tool?
And if you're providing a service and not a product, it can be that you're very fast, that you're very reliable. You say you're going to show up at a specific time and you do, that you get the job done quicker than you estimate and it comes in cheaper. Those kinds of things, like, and you become a service representative so that if they have the specific service need that you provide, but you may also be able to refer reliable, trustworthy other providers for different needs.
Absolutely. Okay. Now your channel. I always get questions between customer relationship versus channel. Now, channel is actually how it comes into your hands, your brain, your consciousness as a customer. And so that's why we have the arrows in the way that we do. So the arrow from the customer to the value, that's your relationship. And your product coming into your hands, into your minds of your customer, that's your channel. Now, this could be your marketing channel, but it could also be physical distribution channels. So let's take a few minutes to think about that.
So, Cara, what does the Avon lady do?
As a channel,
Yeah,
she recruits people. You mean the actual?
she delivers it to your door. So she creates the relationship that way. I think that's how they still work. I'm not sure. Okay, but
Yeah, it's been a
that
little
was-
bit.
That's the way that they did it. Like you would ding dong, Avon calling, right? So you had a physical person in front of you who was going to show you her wares, and then she was also going to deliver it to you that way. Amazon, when it comes to delivery, it can come to your mailbox, or for convenience sake, they have these outposts where you can go pick it up quicker.
Yep, and that's a physical channel. But what drives you to purchase something on Amazon? They do their things like Prime Days. They've got their 2-day shipping, which is a customer relationship tool that gets you to sign up for their annual subscription. So they have combined their customer relationships and their channels to reach you and to get it into your hands and to get it faster. So they've optimized their channels and their relationships so that you think of them first when you want to buy something and you need it here tomorrow.
Yes, and they're on my phone every day telling me, look what we found for you. We
Yep.
think you'll like
So-
it.
Push notifications, that's a customer relationship tool. The marketing of that is also your channel. So you do see a lot of these both.
Related, yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing the mission model canvas in the chat. All right, now everything that we have focused on is the front of your company. Anybody can look at this and know what your product is, who your customers are, and how they heard about it. Now, it's important that we think about our supporting actors here. So this is a very important distinction here. Key partners are individuals, people, partners, organizations that help you develop your value or help you reach your customers. Remember, they're behind the curtain, so they have to be supporting everything on the right side, or at least one thing on the right side. You shouldn't have anybody back here that is not contributing directly to something happening on the right. My favorite saying is that partners don't pay each other, they help each other get paid. And so the way that's done is as partners, we have a united interest in building something together. We have a united interest in developing this product, in helping and reaching these customers. We both care deeply about this problem enough to work together to build this out. And maybe together we'll generate something really awesome and we can sell that, and then together we can make money. That's how we would work together as partners. But if our partners, if you are paying them and they are paying you, that is not the type of partner relationship that we are talking about here. That in that case would be more of a customer relationship than a key partner. And so for this lesson, for this activity, this is somebody that is helping you develop your product or develop your relationship with your customers. So we will pause here to fill in our key partners. And I tend to get a lot of questions on this one, so please feel free to put it in the chat or ask me directly.
Dr. Carmen said, can you briefly again explain the customer segment?
Yes, so the customer segment, my favorite shorthand way of saying this is you are solving a problem and you care about this problem. Find somebody who cares more about the problem than you do. This is somebody who is going to purchase that value directly. Now, you have a difference between customers and consumers, because sometimes there is somebody who's going to be consuming your product, but maybe they're not the best customer. So your customer is directly someone who is purchasing that value. You want to think about this in segments. So chunks of people. So think of a person, think what they have in common with other people. So groups of people and how they would interact with an individual product that you are selling or a feature of a product. So if you have a feature that you're like, absolutely, this is it, this is the main thing, and I have this feature because it's going to help this one particular customer segment, that's how you want to delineate it here, your value and your customer.
Thanks, Cara.
Mhm.
Another question. Do influencer partnerships fall within key partnership category if influencers are marketing in exchange for gifts/services?
Yes, especially if they are your channel to the market and you're not directly exchanging anything, but together you're creating something of value. And that's the key distinction here. So influencers are a channel partner to reach your customer segment. So You would be working with them to support those frontline activities. Ideally, you're going to be creating something there that also creates a mutual benefit for that influencer and that partner. So you want to make sure that's well defined, because they're not just partnering with you for no reason. Like, there's some reason they're working with you. So you want to make sure that's really clear, and it has to be supporting here. So yes, I would count them as a key partner.
Unless you're paying them, then they're a vendor.
Right.
That's the distinction. If
Yep.
you're paying
Part-
them, yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Partners don't pay each other. They help each other get paid.
Oh, so you're my partner, Cara?
Yeah.
Any questions from in the room?
One real obvious way to think about that, or one really good example, is people who are in the event industry. They often partner with other service providers that will be part of the event. So a florist may refer a planner, and a planner may refer a photographer. Okay,
Yes.
so they're all working together to make this event special. The customer will pay each one of them individually, but they have a vested interest in working with others that they trust and know are going to do a good job. So they have a referral network going on.
Do we have any questions from anybody in the room? No, no questions in the,
Any questions in the chat?
no more in the chat.
All right. All right. Now this is simplistic, but your key activities are your to-do list. This again is connected to everything that's on your canvas, and it should be usually reflecting what you're doing with your key partners. So if I'm a wedding planner and my value is I have the florists, and I have all of the things that I need for a successful wedding. My key partners are through that referral network, all of the florists and the individuals who have the materials. My key activities would be to make sure that I'm always referring them people, and they're going to be referring me people. So these are your activities that support your front end activities. So everything here is connected.
Okay, but it also includes going out and buying your flowers, right? And making
Yes.
your arrangements and hiring people. So it's not just supporting your partnership, it's what you actually have to do to put that play on the front end stage.
Yes. I also have our key resources. And so I'm doing these two together so that we can pause after this, because these tend to go hand in hand. Your key resources are generally your wish list. This is where you put anything you spend money on. So if they didn't fall into the key partner category and they actually fell into a vendor category, somebody that you're paying for services from, they go into your key resources. So everything here in your key activities and everything here in your key resources, this is the actual infrastructure of how they are supporting what's happening on the stage. So
Question.
what work are they doing? And what resources do they have, or do they need? Do you need in order to either develop that value or reach those customers?
So if I'm a florist, I may pay somebody to do the delivery. I don't have the manpower to do that, so I'm paying somebody else to do delivery.
Dr. Carmen Smith, her question is, if nonprofit, would activities be meeting with my board? Not sure what that means. Do you want to unmute and maybe give a little bit more context?
Under the column, the second column for key activities, would
So
meeting with the board be one of my key activities? Or would that be under column 1, board members are key partnership?
well, I would say technically it's a key activity, but as far as your business operations go, it's not something that you necessarily have to identify here in the business model canvas or even in the mission model canvas. The meetings would be, like, the purpose of the meetings would be more of the actual key activity.
Okay, thank you.
Your key activity is more about what is your mission? What are you trying to do? So as I recall, Carmen, you are the one who wants to use art as therapy, but you don't want to call it therapy. Right?
That is correct.
Okay, so your key activities are reaching out to people so that you can bring customers in that you can help. Your other key activities would be around what sort of art are you going to have them experience? So you're going to have to plan for that. Whatever, whether it's painting or if
It's any type of art.
making. Okay, so those are the key activities.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then also working in, if you're going to have a particular theme for a session. So the theme could be, you're not crazy, you're just overwhelmed with stuff to do. Planning to have a theme for each thing so that you're slowly doing your therapeutic stuff, but not overwhelming them. You're bringing this out through your art activities. So creating those sessions and those themes, that's going to be a key activity.
Okay, so I would write down all of those. I have about 5.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That sounds right up my alley. You're not crazy. You just have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Oh. We have a question in the room. 1 second.
Oh, yes.
So I have a question on if I'm doing handyman and landscape, because I was between 2 different businesses when I first started this class. So what would be my key resources, like an example for the handyman and landscape?
So in this case, this is actually your materials, right? So if you were doing landscape, that would be your gloves, that would be your equipment, that would be your business cards. All of those things would be your resources or the actual things that you had to purchase to run the business. So in your instance, your value proposition might be the speed at which you do the landscaping. Maybe it's, how comprehensive your business is. We do the hedges, we do the lawn, we do everything. So maybe that's all of those things are values, right? Features, and then the actual thing that you offer. So your key resources are things that you purchase in order to bring that value to life. Maybe it's a way that you reach your customers that's unique. So everything that goes in your key resources box is things that you purchase in order to support the front end activities.
Thank you.
And if
Thanks.
you do sprinklers, that's a value add.
Yes. Now your cost structure. So we are not doing math today, but I do want to encourage you to think about everything on here that does have a price tag. Now, typically we will see our key resources and our cost structure mirror each other, but think about and just line up all of the things that you think are going to cost you money. And again, this should be connected to all of your boxes. So look at your value proposition box. What there is going to cost you money? Do you need to purchase equipment? Do you need to pay developers in reaching your customer segments? Are you going to pay to put out ads or something to reach your customers? Customer relationships. Maybe I really like the idea of apps and stars and the relationship tool. So I maybe want to put some money into that. So I'm going to add that to my cost structure. Channels. How am I reaching my customers? What in that channel is going to cost me money? Maybe I'm putting up flyers and I'm going to spend some money on the ink and the actual printing. So bullets again, and just identify everything here that has a price tag and things that you need to spend money on. So it'll take a few minutes to do that.
And don't forget people. You're
And
gonna be hiring-
people.
Yeah,
Labor is the largest expense, yeah.
those teenagers that you're going to hire to put the flyers on the cars in the parking lots.
All right, now we're gonna focus on revenue streams. Again, no money, no actual financials here. But think about all the different ways that you want to make money. And I love this box because you get to be really creative. Sometimes it's not just about selling the product. Maybe there are subscription fees. Maybe you can license it. Maybe you are getting ad revenue. Maybe your pricing changes based on the seasonality of your product. So think about and list out all of your potential revenue streams here. And this is your business model. So there's a lot here, but we just spent some time going through each of these boxes and making sure that everything is connected. So before we move forward, take a look at your canvas. Do you have anything that's hanging out by itself? Can you draw a line from one item to another? Do you know what your key partners are helping you with? Do you know who your customers are? Now, the key thing is here, remember, we don't know what we don't know. We're starting with uncertainty. We're starting with the unknown. And so if you found yourself while you fill in any of these boxes saying, I don't know, I'm going to guess it, that's great. That's where we want to be. Everything here can be a guess, everything here can be an assumption. But we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know what we're uncertain about until we put it down on paper and we force ourselves to focus on just a box at a time. And we say, all right, this is who I think my customers are. This is the value I think they want. This is who I think I can work with as a key partner to develop that value or to reach those customers. Everything here is an assumption. It's a guess. And by putting it down on paper, you have taken that first step towards creating value in your business because now we know what to test. Now we can systematically test each thing and have a better understanding. Now I have an exercise called the business model ad lib that I will go through next, but before I move forward, any questions? Any feedback? How do you feel about this? You've just put together your first business model. For many of you, it's your first time writing out this idea in one place. What are your thoughts? You guys feel good? Any questions, uncertainty?
Everybody's nodding. Good. You have a question? Oh, no, that's okay. Are you guessing? Guessing is good. Guessing is good.
Guess. Everything is a guess. And that's where we start. That is the point, is to take these guesses and put them down in one place.
Okay.
And we have Nick in the room who was an estimator for others before. So he has experience. So he has some idea about the business. Now, until you actually start running your own business, but you've started, right? Things are going to come up that you didn't expect.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just good to woo-saw and just try to think about these things and brainstorm what could happen, how you're going to deal with it. And still stuff is going to come at you as a surprise.
Yep.
But Nick's in a position where he knows what he's doing because he's done it before for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just the stuff that he's going to do as a boss that he hasn't done before. Hiring people, paying detour, those kinds of things.
I'm
Compliance.
more in a state where I don't know, the only work I can handle is the work that my hands can do. So if I were to move to
Mhm.
the only work that I can take on is the work that I can do. I either have to choose to teach someone to do what I do and then give them trust, or I have to reduce this model. If I could duplicate me, I could do twice as much because I need the hours in the day to do the work. So a lot of these it's like example A, hypothetical A, hypothetical B, hypothetical C for me. Like in the smallest version, I lose a lot of advertising. A lot of these things aren't necessary if it's just a one-man like business. But if I do,
You're going to have to find your next customer. So how are you going to do that?
so I have a plan. It would take a lot of time to write all that down.
I think he has 10 jobs a week, you said? Is that
Yeah.
roughly?
So yeah, generally I'll do about 10 jobs a week, so I could handle about 20. At 20, I'm pushing 100K or more. So that's great. I'm super excited for that. But that is literally every hour of the day for 7 days a week. So the idea is for me, do I stay small and then just choose one more employer or one more customer? I have one customer. If I choose one more customer, then do I just stick with essentially just the minimal work, or do I expand the business? So to me, this got confusing. It's like two versions for me. Is it just me, or do I double?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for you, what you actually want to do is a cost benefit analysis, right? So you want to look at everything that you're doing and what is your limit and what is the max amount you can do. And in that world, what are your limitations, right? Like that might mean limited vacation days, or if you get sick, you get backlogged. Like what does that look like? So you just build out what that whole story is. Now, if you bring on a second person, then what does that change your max level to? What do you need their max level to be? How much are you willing to pay them, or how much are people willing to work for? And so sitting down and actually just like writing out the financials for each of those scenarios will help you better assess that. But the key thing with today is write it down, put it out there into the world so that you can sit and you can workshop it and you can look at it. I find that people will get held up and won't be able to move forward because you have so much uncertainty and you have so many things, so many questions. So if you just start and list everything out, it helps you to just systematically go through and answer each of those questions.
Yeah. No, I'm not stuck on that. I just didn't want to write all of that down. It's a lot
Okay.
for the cost structure in both scenarios. And then
Yeah.
like I have a lunch with the customer two tomorrow. It's possible. It's just how much and how far do I want to go? Like the website I have
Yep.
is .com, but I haven't made the website. So for me, it's really about I would use your model to decide which one's better for me, which version is better to run a business of just me, or to just maybe just run a business where I teach people to do the work kind of thing. Because that's what I'm brainstorming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then the canvas.
I think we grow from one to the second.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do as much as I can up until I either find that person because it's all about trust. I can't teach someone everything I know to have them leave and become my competitor.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Yep.
need,
There's the real risk.
my kid's 13. I need 2 more years. I need to stick around for a couple more years and I'll teach him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That is a plan right there.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family
Yeah.
business.
Mhm.
Establish the website, take on small work here and there, set up in the Las Vegas Valley. The business plan is to do a national service of estimating. So the idea is a contractor, there's two people. There's the person that has the home or the property that wants to either improve it or it needs to be fixed. And then there's the contractor, the person that has the ability to do the work, but they just can't seem to, what's the price? What's the deal? What do we need? They need that documented. And that's basically what I do. I document it, I photograph it all, I put it all in a big long list of work to be done, and I get the two to communicate and come to an agreement on $6,700, whatever they might agree on. So like it could be small or it could be big. If I could hire people from here, we could do whatever. I definitely need an assistant if we double it. But it sounds good, but it's scary to me. It's really scary to me because each check I get that's my rent and that's the food. I'm not like playing around with like some savings account. Like I live off of the checks that I get. So it is very scary. And that's why I'm here mostly. There's a lot that I don't know.
Okay. And then you'll be really interested in our pricing session.
Yeah. I think once I have enough customers, I'll be able to increase the price. Right now, I'm
That's
trying
not
to.
how you should be thinking about it, but I
No.
don't want to steal Mark's thunder.
No, Mark will tell you.
Yeah.
I have a competitive
Yeah.
right now because I'm
Yeah.
competing against people that are in Florida that write estimates for insurances and they've been doing it for 20 years, but they're 3%. So if it's a $10,000 estimate that costs $300, but I can do estimates up to $20,000 for half that, for 155. So I have like a really competitive price to meet people, to build key partnerships, to build relationships. But eventually I'd like to, like, when I get to be 50, I'd like to be in a cabin working from a computer, having a guy that I pay to go around to the places. So I have some work to do. This kind of helped me, but I have a lot to figure out as far as cost. The 2 boxes I have empty are cost and revenue streams.
Well, and that's so again, these are boxes that you don't put full financials in. This is just like you could add 3 bullets for each box and say, this is how I make money. This is what I spend my money on. That's it. So we have a whole nother session on the actual full financials and also pricing strategy. So don't get hung up here. This is just where you list out how do you make money. That's it. 3 boxes, 3 bullets.
Zoni online said her comment to you is, so your value is your local.
That is, yeah. Well, yes. I'm also educated and I'm super into tech. So I have like an AI that helps me, that I pay a company to give me answers on insurance claims monthly. I cheat a little bit, throw some money around.
Yeah, you're working smarter.
It's not cheating.
That's-
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a key resource. That's a service.
Yeah.
So I would put that here, add it to your key resource box and add it to your cost structure. So you are
Yeah.
paying for a service that helps you develop your value and also in that case helps you reach your customers because you know where to find them. So that's a bullet right there.
Yeah, try to make great work. That's the whole goal of really your first year in business is just get great customers, get repeat work, just do great work. That's the main too.
Petra, about 10 minutes ago, asked, what is the difference between buy-in and support versus client relationships?
Well, I would say getting support is a client relationship, but in this case, your customer relationship is the actual tool for getting a repeat relationship going on between your customer and your value. So that's what keeps me coming back for a Starbucks coffee, for example. So the buy-in is a little bit different. That's your key partner, and your key partner can help you with your key relationships. But this is what helps you have not just a single one-off relationship. This is why people come to you for your specific product. So that could be brand, that could be image, that could be who you are as a business.
Yeah, so Nick, for you, I could see you getting a key partnership with a contractor who doesn't want to do the estimating, and they can refer you. So they get a lead from a customer and they say, yeah, I've talked to Nick. He's really great at doing the estimating. He's quick, he's reliable. And so that is going to be one of your key partnerships.
Things. So one thing I'm doing now is not a general contractor, but a contractor. That's a person that has a license. Sorry.
You're fine.
Person that has a license to do some work, drywall and paint and things like that. And he wanted to grow to be a general contractor. That's a person that has a license to employ electricians and plumbers and complete the whole home. So he didn't know how to do it. So he chose myself and my partner, Alex, to consult him to grow, because we came from 2 other companies that did it and doubled. So there is like a consulting aspect to the job too.
Well, that's
so
another revenue stream for you.
Yeah, so partnerships, do we have feed sources? So we have, if you have a flood in your home, a plumber will be called. That plumber is going to refer the job to what's called a mitigation team. The mitigation team specializes in removing water and mold and things like that. And they're going to be referring the source over to the next person. So yeah, I have the partnerships too. There's those groups of people that feed each other they work together, but they don't pay each other money.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm actually realizing that we are at time, so I'm going to go to the next part of this. So this is the business model ad lib, and we can take everything that we have now developed as part of our business model, and we are going to turn this into 3 sentences. I think this is 3 very long sentences. And use this to tell us what your business is all about. And feel free to put this into the chat. We will spend a second here on this. I find that a lot of people, especially when you're just getting started and you're trying to tell us what your business is, maybe we talk and we don't actually arrive at where we want to be, or we could be a little bit more concise. This is a great tool that helps us tell us exactly what it is that we're working on. So my product or service provides value to customer segment by short description in order to short underscore. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with key partners who help us achieve key activities, product development, and or access to customers. So here you can choose one. We expect to spend money on costs, and these costs again are related to your product or your key resources. And we plan to make money by revenue streams. And so again, this is single one-time purchase. Maybe you have a subscription, but this is how we choose to make money. So let's take a few minutes to do this, and then I will call on a few brave souls to share theirs.
Okay, so what business do you want to do?
Food.
Sell food. What kind of food?
Drinks. Tacos.
Tacos. Okay. All right.
Dessert.
So my taco truck provides value to hungry consumers by giving them a taco experience like they've never had before. Okay. In order to deliver value to our customers, we've partnered with mutton providers. What's in your tacos? You're not the
Just-
mutton taco lady.
No, just
Cilantro, Maggie.
Yeah.
cilantro.
Well, they're traditional Indian tacos that you don't get in
Yeah,
a lot of places.
yeah.
So,
So
in order to deliver value to our customers, we've partnered with local bakeries that make the fluffy stuff, flatbread.
Actually,
Right.
that's where it goes wrong for me, because I'm just going to be purchasing the items to make it myself. I'm not partnering with other people to make these things.
Okay.
So in this case, your key partners are not people who are helping you produce your product, but your key partners are helping you reach your customers. So if you are participating in like a food truck event, or multiple food trucks come together and they're farmers markets, those guys would be your key partners. There is a fine line there because you may pay for access to a farmer's market, but In this case, anybody who you work with who can help you get the word out about your truck is a key partner.
Okay. Oh,
There you
okay,
go.
now I'm getting it.
And so they help you reach your customers by providing the venue
Mhm.
and advertising. So they're probably, if they're a farmer's market, they're doing their own advertising. All right, so you expect to spend money on the component parts of your tacos and your vehicle to get there and your table display and your to-go boxes, all that kind of stuff. And you plan to make money by selling great tacos.
I'm sold. Tell me where to go.
I want this taco experience.
Anybody else you wanna have a go? Anybody online?
Oh, no, you don't want
You
to?
can also put it into the chat if you are shy.
Well, the people in the room here, none of them have computers. Yeah, that's why I'm calling on them.
Wants to bring a computer?
You don't
I
have
think
to.
I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, we have a volunteer.
I can go.
Okay, somebody else.
Yes.
Mine's gonna go. Oh, okay.
My expressive art classes provides value because I am local and I go to people. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with Nevada Mental Health Association and art supply merchants who help us achieve, that's where I got stuck, achieve,
So
wait,
if I may,
yes,
you have two different types of key partners there. Let's separate them. So say one one key partner and one key activity, one key partner, one key activity.
okay.
So the Nevada Mental Health Association.
Yes,
All right, how are they helping you?
with connections on the different mental health facilities and rehab places in Nevada.
Okay, so locations, they're giving you locations.
Yes,
Okay, that's cool.
because I would go to those places. And then they also work with people, our children that are in homes. They need help as well.
Okay, so they're both providing a location for you to hold these sessions, and they also refer
Yes,
customers.
Okay, great. Now we expect to spend money on,
spend money on art supplies and I'm hoping to grant write for salaries. But we're not a revenue making. So that was my question. How do I change that over? But so we hope to
okay,
we expect to spend money on art supplies and travel expenses. And
okay,
eventually for people that do want to pay, there is another side to it where we would do weekend retreats and week-long retreats out of the city, out of state, hopefully eventually out of the country.
okay. So as a nonprofit, you have your customers and you have your consumers. And in some cases, your consumers, these consumers are not paying for it, but they benefit from it. So think about who would actually purchase these services and getting grants. That's great if you got a grant to help pay for this, but you still have a customer there who would be your possibly your grantor or helping you with this problem. So somebody who cares more about the problem than you do.
So
That's
that
your
would be
customer.
the director of the facility.
Yeah,
They care about the mental and emotional health of the people.
okay. Right, and so if they represent a certain jurisdiction, right? So they would be paying you for the services and they also operate as a channel to your ideal consumers in your segment there.
Yes. Okay, so that would be Las Vegas.
All right, well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you.
We have one volunteer in the room.
So I have mine as my app provides value to busy people by providing yoga, meditation, and herbal blends. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with herbalists who help us achieve our monthly herbal blends and wellness practitioners who, let's see, yeah, monthly practitioner, wellness practitioners to create wellness practices like meditations and yogas. And we expect to spend money on, that's where yeah, because if it's key partners, I don't know if it would be like paying them a one-time fee or if they would come in on a subscription based, or that's
No, this is great. So finding that you have areas of uncertainty here is important. So the only way that we test uncertainty is by talking to these individuals. So everything about today is about crafting our first rough sketch of a roadmap so that we can start to say, I really don't know about that one. And the only way to test it is to talk to them. So you have herbalists here and you are working on developing a product. What does that exchange look like? Are you partnering together and sharing resources? Are you purchasing from them? And so this is a great question mark, and it's a great thing to explore with a person. I always tell everybody that if you don't have the answer and you couldn't come up with the answer here, the answer is not in the room. The answer is not online. The answer is somebody else is going to tell you. So talk to somebody and they will help you reduce this uncertainty and create value.
Thank you.
All right, we are over time, but I will take one more. If anybody wants to
There's one
share theirs.
online. There's only, do
Oh.
you want to unmute?
Sure, I can read it. I feel like it's a little bit redundant, but so our jewelry line, our design team provides value to young collectors that love authentic indigenous art by Native artists. The short description was hard for me to do. In order to deliver value to our customers, we have partnered with Native forward distributors, so like GNU or Eighth Generation or things like that, who help us facilitate access to the design lines. I don't really know what they're called, like the whatever lines that we put out. We expect to spend money on our design team, so the artists, silver or gold, precious stones, and production costs, and plan to make money by selling jewelry.
Fantastic, fantastic. Great. And how do you feel about that one?
It feels really generic.
Yeah, it's where you start though, and you answered the questions, and so you start to build out, all right, what is my product? What else could it be? You start to test that question. Same thing with your customer segments. The customer segment is general, and so we want to know exactly who are these people? How do they interact with products? Why would they choose my product over someone else's? So we start to build that out. So this is a very first stroke, and we say, all right, this is where I'm at today, and I'm going to test each of these items, and I'm going to get a little bit more clarity on all of them. So we start with that scribbly uncertainty, and we move towards value as we test each of these things. Thank you for sharing.
So right now, you know that you're going to be featuring Indigenous artists.
Yes.
And they're probably going to be creating meaningful representations of their heritage. And this is probably what you want to focus on. You did name a lot of different media, silver, gold, precious stones. That may get refined over time. You may find that the silver really sells well and the gold is much more expensive. So you may not want to pursue the line of gold jewelry, but you may want to really dive into the silver. So you've got a design community that your partners are referring you to. And so you can try a lot of different things, a lot of different artists, until you find the ones that sell to your customer base.
That's helpful. Thank you.
All right, now as we close, I want to pull attention back to our chart here. Everything here on the left, your question marks. And today we put the question marks on the canvas. We said, all right, this is everything to test. We are going to move it towards certainty by testing each of these things. So you have a list of your customer segments. Talk to them. Are they actually interested in this as a product? And I don't mean sell it to them. Just ask them. Is this something that they purchase? Why not? How do they purchase it? How do they interact with it? Gain a better understanding of who your customers are. Gain a better understanding of the value that you have that they want and that they're interested in. Did you put somebody on your key partners list today that you felt had to be there, but they don't actually need to be there? Test that, validate that. Who are you working with? Why are you working with them? Do they need to be there? And so as we reduce uncertainty, we will create value. We will have a stronger roadmap as you move forward and you speak this idea into existence. And that's it for today. Thank you all so much. Please be sure to check in so we can count you for today's attendance. Thank you.
This also leads into Monday's session, which will be on customer validation. So we're going to actually do an exercise. You guys get to apply it to your own business, but we're going to develop questions to go out in our two-part session to validate whether there's a need for the product that we want to create or service.
And then for everybody online, the market that was mentioned during last week, I just dropped the picture of the flyer in the chat. You guys can see it there. Oh, there's one for the powwow as well. Hold please, hold please.
That's got a lot of little writing on it.
That does have a lot of little writing on it. Good luck,
It's
guys.
a couple pages, so.
And it's a couple pages.
Yeah, for the
Flyer.
flyer.
Refer to.
Maybe you could
website.
upload.
Is there a website?
Just an email to reach the person.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You
Okay,
too.
thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Definitely one of them.